Hey there, friends. I'm out here doing a little bit of work in the backyard this morning, and I thought I would share something with you. First of all, it's a beautiful day down here in South Louisiana. It's probably going to get hot today, but all things considered, we're usually getting a lot of high humidity and higher temperatures. It's a beautiful day. Wonderful. I think we're going to probably be in the mid 70s today, so it's going to be a nice day. So I thought I would bring this video to you from the backyard. I'm not sure if you guys have seen the video that's circulating on social media from Hope Walz. This is the daughter of the Democrat vice presidential candidate, and I'm trying to get all this right because I don't want to screw it up. I don't have any notes out here. But it's the daughter of, obviously, the vice presidential candidate that was running with Kamala Harris, Tim Walz. She's clearly butthurt because her daddy didn't win vice president of the United States. Before I show you the video, I want you to understand something. We on the right, or even center to right, don't react the same way as these wackos on the far left. Many of us are not entitled. Everything you see in this picture and my home, everything I worked for, my wife worked for. We both work. It's a two-income family that we have. Nothing was given to us. I grew up poor. She grew up more middle class, I guess. But we worked for everything. Nothing that I have, own, or anything was given to me other than a shotgun by my father and probably a couple of trinkets from my mom when she passed away. Other than that, we worked for everything. The video you're about to see is from an entitled person who was given everything. And on top of that, it's one thing to be given stuff, because I have friends out there who inherited stuff and came from well-to-do families, and they're perfectly good people. The difference between my friends who were given things and this entitled person is that it's that she's entitled. She feels entitled. She feels like she was robbed of something. There's a big difference between somebody feeling like they fairly lost something and someone feeling like something was taken from them that they were supposed to have. This was my thing and you took it from me, or you kept me from being able to have it. Watch the video and let's talk about it.
Okay, I'm sitting here on my couch eating SpongeBob mac and cheese and watching Outer Banks, and I just have a couple initial post-election thoughts. I've officially reached the point of anger, and I'm not an angry person, so I'm just trying to channel it. The first one being, this country does not deserve Kamala Harris. That woman should go live her best life wherever she wants, doing whatever she wants, because we don't deserve her at this point. The only people that delivered this election were Black women, and we failed them. And it's just heartbreaking, and we've got to do whatever we can to support them and support our people through these next 4 years. Another one is, these people have to live in their own skin, as in JD Vance and Donald Trump have to be JD Vance and Donald Trump. And that is not a punishment I would wish upon anybody except those two individuals. So I'm just really grateful that I am who I am and that I'm on the side of love and hope and joy and progress. That's what I've got so far. I definitely am going to have more thoughts as time goes on, and I think I'm going to share them on here. I think it's a good outlet. I'm giving myself the week to be sad and to mourn what could have been, what should have been. But that's not where we are, and that's not reality. And I'm giving myself the week to accept that and to be in it. And then the work starts. So we got this, America. We're going to be okay.
So first of all, she claims that the country did not deserve Kamala Harris. Sugar, I could not agree with you more. This country deserves far better than that. That's why they did not vote for Kamala Harris. That's why in droves, by the millions, they voted against that stupid skank. We didn't want her, and yes, to your point, we didn't deserve her. That's why we chose otherwise. We took the other path. In fact, many of the people who usually vote for your party, Sugar, voted for Donald Trump. Why? Because they wanted a change. Like your mom said in one of her videos, let's turn the page. They decided to turn the page because they've been suffering for 4 years. They buy groceries. You don't buy groceries. You don't know what bacon costs. You don't know what eggs or milk costs. I heard somebody the other day say that this election was not about buying groceries. Really? That's from a person who doesn't buy groceries. Anyone who says, oh, it wasn't about the economy or it wasn't about the fact that people can't afford groceries is a person who never has to worry about purchasing groceries and never goes to the store and sees that. Look, I'll be the first one to tell you, before Biden got elected, or whatever you want to call that, when I would go to the grocery store, my wife would text me a list and I would buy things, and she would send me a coupon code or something like that and tell me to make sure you use this, and I never used it. I mean, I'm bad about that kind of stuff. I never would use that kind of stuff. I would also never look at the receipt. Like, I kind of had a general idea of what things should run, so whenever the cashier would check me out or my groceries, I'd be like, yeah, it's cool. As the Biden administration progressed and basically took a dump on all of us, I started noticing things whenever I would check out, like, wait a minute. And I would take that receipt and look at it. The coupon codes that my wife would send me, yeah, I'd start using those. Because I used to be able to get a ribeye on a Sunday afternoon that I could grill for $8. And a nice ribeye I'm talking about. Nice marbling in it, you know, really a good, decent 3/4 inch thick ribeye, $8. $12 to $16, depending on if you can get it on sale now. So these entitled people don't know what it's like to live a normal life like we do. Again, somebody else does all of their errands for them and, quite frankly, pays for them too. They don't pay for their own stuff. So we have people like this young person who was indoctrinated in a public school system that just doesn't know any better. She thinks that she knows what's right for the American people at 23 years old, mind you. And then she's trying to belittle and talk down to everybody who made their own choice. And we're talking about people who have lived twice, sometimes 3 times the amount of time that she's been on Earth. So we have way more life experiences. She's trying to tell us that we did wrong. In fact, she's trying to say that the only voting bloc that got it right, according to her, is black women. Because, as you know, a higher percentage of black women voted for Kamala Harris. Now, let's be honest, that's tribalism. That's simple tribalism. And I don't fault some of these people. I get it that they're stupid and they would still vote for somebody who would seek to have higher prices on them, higher fuel prices, higher grocery prices, all that. I realize some people are more tied to tribalism. In other words, a black woman voting for a half-black woman is a form of tribalism. They feel connected to that like their team. Like, that's the team that I want to vote for because that's my team. It's an innocent form of picking a team that you're pulling for, because if you have nothing else out there, that is your tiebreaker. Again, I don't see any fault in that. Call me what you want if you want to, but I don't care. It's okay to pick a side. It's okay to pull for your football team versus all the other football teams. That's a form of tribalism. So even though a large majority of black women voted for Kamala and were too stupid to realize that that was the wrong choice for the country, they did that because in their heart they thought that was the best candidate because of that reason. Again, she's half black or Caribbean, I should say, not African American, and she's a woman. So I understand that. Some of these people are too stupid to realize that maybe it's not time for a woman to be president if it's the wrong woman. Do you understand what I'm saying? Most people don't care if it's a woman or a man. They want the right person. So they didn't vote against Kamala because she's a woman. They voted against her because she sucked as a candidate. There's a humongous difference between voting against somebody because they suck and voting against somebody simply because of their gender, right? Big, big difference. So this entitled 23-year-old child is trying to tell us that only black women got it right. Everybody else got it wrong. And she's even throwing black men into this. So wait a minute. I've already heard black men being called racist. Silliest thing in the world. And I'm talking about racist because they didn't vote for a half-black woman. So by saying that every single other demographic, whether it be men, white women, white men, black men, Asians, Hispanics, by Hispanic men, Hispanic women, by saying all these other demographics got it wrong and just black women got it right, just because it was only that small demographic that managed to vote the way you wanted them to vote. Let's remember, Black people make up 12% of the country. Black women make up half of that. So we're talking about a measly 6 to 7% of the overall population is what she's talking about got it right. So she's mad at 94% of the population. Let's be real here. These are the real numbers. She's saying that 6% of the population got it right and 94% of the population got it wrong because they didn't put her entitled daddy into a position of vice president. This is a person who had big dreams. I'm talking about Hope Walz here. What a name for such a goober that's has this distorted view of reality when it comes to the actual world. But let's be real honest here. She thought, because of what she had been, let's remember, Kamala got put in there, right? So she thought that Walz and Kamala would be handed the White House because Kamala was handed a nomination that she did not earn, right? I mean, think about this. These people, essentially you could call them from the inside, watched all of this unfold. Hope might be stupid, but she's probably smart enough to realize Kamala Harris got 0 delegates, 0 votes from the American people. In the past, we're talking about in 2020, Kamala got 0, and in 2024, Kamala got 0. Even an idiot like Hope Walz sees that and knows that. So because she saw Kamala get assigned as the presidential candidate in 2024, she probably assumed the fix was in and that Kamala was simply going to waltz on into the White House. No pun intended. Her dad was going to waltz into the position of vice president and hopefully one day be president, of course. That's what's wrong with these people. They feel like they are owed things. They see it from the inside. They see the corruption on the inside. They see how people don't earn things. That's part of the problem between these two different sides. One side, center to the right, is based on merit. You earn what you get. Not in every case, but let's be honest, most of us think that way. You earn your way into whatever you get. That center to left looks at it like, I'm entitled. Give it to me. I'm a woman. I'm either disabled. I'm a different race. I'm gay. I'm trans, pretending to be something else that I'm not. They feel like based on the decisions you make in your personal and social side of your life, that those things should supersede any merit that the right has. In other words, whatever you identify as is more important than what this person has accomplished in life, and that should give me a leg up, meaning I deserve it more than this other person. Big difference. There's a stark contrast between the way the right thinks and the left thinks. The left feels like you qualify for a position or a raise or anything like that simply because of what you are, where the right considers it you qualify for that position based on what you did, not who you are, what you did. There is a humongous difference between that. And people on the left cannot wrap their minds around that, including this little 23-year-old wacko right here. Hopefully she was a nobody before, along with Tim Walz. I mean, let's be honest, who knew who Tim Walz was before? I mean, I knew who Tim Walz was because during the St. George fires of Minneapolis, Tim Walz was in there at the time, right? He was the one who was happy to let it burn to the ground. That's why I even kind of remotely knew who Tim Walz was whenever they pinned him as the vice presidential candidate. But other than that, did you really know? So did you really know who Hope Walz was before that? Honestly, I wouldn't know who Hope Walz was now if I hadn't seen the video of Tim Walz jerking his disabled son on stage, jerking his arm out of the way in a display of abuse against his special needs son. So Hope Walz was in that picture at the time. That's the only reason why I recognize her, know who she is. She will go away as quickly as she came onto the scene. We will never hear from her again. Goodbye, good riddance. Tim Walz will never. Tim Walz being, hopefully she has not picked up on her dad's habitual lying, because her dad is a chronic liar. And hopefully that she just kind of blends into the rest of the sunset as it is. And we never hear from her again, along with Tim Walz again, once he's voted out as governor of Minnesota. Guys, have a great weekend. Enjoy the weather if you're fortunate enough to have beautiful weather like me. I've got some things I'm going to take care of today, and hopefully the majority of it is taking place outside. Guys, if you don't mind, please make sure you are still subscribed. I have been watching views on my videos the last few days operate the same way, getting the same amount of views on my videos, but I am seeing, once again, YouTube is doing this again, I'm seeing my YouTube subscribers go down. There's not a video I've put out in the last few days that would have offended any of my previous subscribers. So I know subscribers are not just all of a sudden deciding to stop subscribing to my channel. I'm seeing a pretty decent reduction in that. Last month, I saw a span where I had 0 subscribers. Not one less, not one more. 0 on a daily basis for several days in a row. YouTube is playing its games, guys. If you don't mind, please support the channel by making sure you're subscribed. Hit the notification bell. Please share the video. Please ask your friends and family, if you feel like they're like-minded, to follow the channel as well so that they can get updates on some truth out there. Again, guys, I am not a news channel. I am an op-ed channel. I take news items out there and I give you my opinion on them. So if you're looking for news, there are other news channels out there. But if you're looking for truth and breaking down of the lies of some of the people out there, look no further than this channel right here, because I do my best to dig into the facts and deliver as truthful of information as I can with a little bit of opinion added to that so you guys understand where we are as Americans. We are fighting a fight right now, and nothing is what it seems if you're tapped into the news media. You got to look at alternative media, and YouTube, unfortunately, is one of the best places to find it. Oh, and X. So go follow me on X too. Paul of LAA. Again, it's Paul _of_ LAA on X. Great place over there. That is a freedom zone in X right now.
I don't understand the point that you're making.
God save the Queen, man.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America. He's so